Elon Musk famously predicted, "Well, I think the biggest problem, terrestrial problem that Earth faces is the sustainable energy problem, and so I think there's going to be a number of breakthroughs in that arena because they kind of have to be. I think there will be, as they say, necessity is the mother invention, so I would expect to see significant breakthroughs in energy storage and probably in energy generation as well, although I actually think that there have been some pretty big breakthroughs in solar power." Musk was right, and you can see it in two places. First, the panels. Ordinary silicon solar always had a hard ceiling, about a third of the sunlight hitting a panel and no more. Then engineers started stacking a thin second layer called perovskite on top. The top layer grabs the light the bottom layer can't use. LONGi has pushed this design up every year, 33.9%, then in July 2026 it hit 35.5%, already past the old ceiling, with theory saying these stacked cells could eventually reach 43%. Second, and more convincing, is how much is actually getting built. The US is adding 86 gigawatts of new power in 2026, the biggest year since 2002, with solar and batteries more than 3/4 of it and new natural gas a rounding error. Worldwide it's the same. Solar was 3/4 of every new power plant built on Earth in 2025. Musk also predicted there's going to be huge breakthroughs in genetics, in decoding DNA and then also writing DNA. So once you've read DNA and figure out where's the error, you want to sort of write the corrective code. I mean, DNA is basically firmware. If there's a disease that somebody has and it's genetic and you could sort of fix that, we may be able to fix Alzheimer's. And so I expect there's going to be a lot of breakthroughs in the genetics area. Musk called DNA basically firmware, and that's now close to literally true. An AI called Evo2 was trained on the DNA of more than 128,000 species, over 9 trillion letters of genetic code, and it can spot which mutations cause disease, with over 90% accuracy on BRCA1, the breast cancer gene. It reads 1 million letters at a time, so it sees how whole stretches of a genome work together, not just single genes. Then there's writing it. The same team used Evo2 to design working viruses from scratch to hunt down antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And a Caltech team just unveiled a faster, cheaper way to physically build these long DNA sequences, because AI is now designing them faster than labs can make them. The corrective code part already happened to a real child. A baby named KJ Muldoon was born, unable to clear ammonia from his blood. Doctors built a gene-editing drug just for him, the first ever, one that will probably never be used again. It cost about as much as a liver transplant, roughly $1 million, and the doctor behind it thinks that drops to a few $100,000 within a few years. The FDA responded in February 2026 by creating a whole new approval path for one-patient gene therapies. And editing inside the body now works at real scale. Intellia's treatment cut attacks of a rare swelling disease by 87% and wiped them out completely in 62% of patients from a single dose, with FDA approval targeted for early 2027. Alzheimer's, Musk's own example, is the piece still missing. But even there, researchers found in April 2026 that the main Alzheimer's risk gene shrinks neurons decades early by pumping out a protein called NEL2, and turning NEL2 down restored those neurons to normal in mice. Gene therapies aimed at that gene are heading into early human trials now. So, AI reads DNA, AI writes DNA. One child already got custom code, and the first in-body editor is at the FDA's door. Alzheimer's is the unfinished sentence. Musk surprisingly predicted how drones would evolve. He said, "Warfare is definitely moving toward locally autonomous drones. I'm not saying that I want this future. I'm saying that autonomous drone warfare is simply where the future is heading. I can't believe I'm saying this because it is dangerous, but drones will likely operate autonomously at the local level. However, I think humans should retain the authority to damage or destroy anything that is not an autonomous drone. That decision should remain with a person in the loop." The era of the fighter jet has passed. Of all his predictions, this one came true the fastest. Drones flying themselves is now normal, not special. In Ukraine, small attack drones started getting AI targeting in 2025, and bigger long-range ones followed in 2026. The drone finds its own way to the target even after the operator loses the signal, and it's cheap. One company sells the little AI chip that does this for about $70. It takes over in the last 500 meters, which matters because Russian jamming knocks about 90% of Ukrainian drones out of the sky before they ever reach their target. $70 beats the jamming. Today, roughly 70% of all frontline deaths on both sides come from these drones. That's the war now. Musk's other point, that a human should still give the kill order, is officially still holding. Ukraine's new interceptor drone takes off, chases, and destroys flying targets with nobody steering it, but a person still has to press the button to authorize the kill. 2 clicks total. Analysts at CSIS say no drone in Ukraine yet does the whole job alone, and operators can always override it, but the line is slipping. US doctrine has quietly moved from a human approves every strike to a human supervises and can step in. There's no treaty banning killer robots, and the more the machine gets it right, the less likely anyone is to step in at all. That's exactly the slide Musk said scared him. The UN Secretary General demanded a binding treaty by the end of 2026, while the big militaries keep writing checks. Where Musk got it wrong is the fighter jet. The US Air Force did approve its first robot fighters for production in June 2026, at least 150 of them, aiming for around 1,000 eventually, at roughly $30 million each, a third the price of an F-35. But they're wingmen. They fly next to F-35S, F-22S, and the new F-47 under the command of a human pilot sitting in a cockpit. So, he called the drone shift early and correctly, he called the human authority problem correctly, and it's now under real strain, but he buried the fighter jet about a generation too soon. The jet didn't die, it just got a robot squadron. But on positive note, Musk also said, in a benign future we will create so many AI-powered robots that they will satisfy virtually every human need. At some point, you may not even be able to think of something to ask a robot for because goods and services will be so abundant. There will eventually be more robots than people, but in that scenario, how do humans maintain a sense of purpose? So it's interesting how these predictions will turn out in near future.